Joining us now, a man who is the most important cog in this BYU baseball program, the head coach, Mike Littlewood. 36-17, first ever West Coast Conference regular season championship for your BYU Batcats team. Congratulations on that. I know a disappointing finish, but man, it was a fun ride until it kind of came to a crashing halt.
Yeah, it seemed like it was we played at such a high level all year, and then it was like we ran into a buzzsaw. I mean, you talk about it in baseball, you run into a buzzsaw when you see a good pitcher. And we faced Cody Paiva on Thursday night, and he was, his ERA is 1.43, which means he gives up, all over the course of a year, 1.5 runs per 9 innings.
Conference pitcher of the year.
And he pitched to that ERA. He was better in that big game than he was when we saw him before in league play when he beat us. I don't know what the score was in league, but he was really, really good that night. So we just didn't get it done. Bottom line, just didn't get it done at the end when it counted.
Monday, when you're hoping to get into the NCAA Regional, did you feel like you'd get in? And what do you think of the decision to not be in?
No, I didn't feel like we would get in. I just feel like there's the no Sunday play. I don't know if that even came into play, but I do know when we were in the regional 2 years ago in Stanford, every coach was complaining about it because they have to move their starting pitching up a day. And not even their starting pitching. Every pitcher that they throw has to move up a day and 1 day less rest, which I don't really understand a whole lot that it makes a big difference because instead of
Friday, it'd be Thursday.
Instead of 6 days rest, yeah, they're getting 5 days rest. And so it's not a big deal. I can see it if it's 4 days rest and now you're only getting 3 days rest. Sure. That might be a big deal. But just nobody likes it. Everybody's in a routine. But if you look over the course of the season, the PAC has games, Pac-12 Network has games on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and so their schedule's always bumped up. We bump up for Easter. There's a lot of different times you have to go on short rest, so I don't know that that's really a valid reason. But I didn't feel like we would get in. There's too many reasons not to have us in. The West is slighted all the time. We know that. RPI is built for the Power 5, especially the SEC. It's just built that way. You look at Alabama's record and their RPI. I think they had an RPI of 39, and they were 7 games under 500 in league. But they had a 39 RPI. They didn't make it in the tournament, but they had a 39 RPI, which means they can go play the worst team in the SEC, and they'll gain RPI points. It's just built that way, and so not fair.
I hate the RPI, and I'm so happy that men's hoops went away from it this last year. And I thought that was a move in the right direction. They came up with their own metric and whatnot, perhaps because it's not football or men's basketball. There's not this level of investment in the metrics or whatever. Right. But where do we go from here in perhaps equalizing or making it more fair? And do you think it'll go that direction ever?
I don't. I think you should give the conference winner of the league should be given an at-large, and if you want to, or an automatic bid, and if you want to have a tournament, then have a tournament and give that tournament winner, a bid as well. The work that you've done from game 1 to game 52 in league play and non-conference play, which, I mean, look at all the Power 5 schools we beat. We beat Washington at Washington. Those are tough things to do, and we were in the top 25 5 or 6 weeks. So it's funny you play for, not funny, it's interesting that you play for metrics and this quantitative analysis for 56 games, and then all of a sudden it's like the committee gets together, well, TCU's playing well, so let's get them in. When in their last 10 games, they were 4-6, and they just lost their closer 2 weeks ago. And so it becomes subjective at the very end. And so that's when I get frustrated when people ask me about RPI. What do you think about RPI? And what do you think about being in the rankings and all that? What do you think about coaches poll, having you sick? It doesn't matter. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is, for us right now, is getting to the top 4 and winning the league tournament. That's the only thing that matters.
At what point do you turn the page and start looking at what you're bringing back? Because you lose some really good players. Jordan Wood was your Thursday starter. Brian Sue, good player. Brock Hale, Keaton Kringland, Casey Jacobson, Blake Inouye, Noah Hill behind home plate.
You're making me cry.
So many great players. And
awesome.
then Jackson Clough played himself into a position where he's likely to be drafted in a high round. So
yeah, I think we'll lose him.
When do you turn the page?
A year ago, 6 months ago, you start thinking about the next year. I mean, I think about next year and the year after every single day. It's something that I think you can't all of a sudden wake up and go, oh man, we're losing these guys. We need to. So that's why I love our 2019 class coming in. A lot of talented guys, a lot of good, talented young pitchers coming in. A lot of those guys, I won't name names because I can't go through them all right now, but a couple left-handers and a couple right-handers are potential draft picks.
Okay.
Coming into BYU next year. a few good position players, namely Brock Watkins, who just won the state championship with Pleasant Grove.
Yep.
He's going to have to step up, and especially if Jackson Clough leaves, he's going to have to get his game ready to start for us next year and battle for a starting spot along with the returners. And so I love our outfield. We have a couple really good outfielders coming in, swap from Jordan High School. We have McKay Barney from a legit center fielder from Arizona. So the pieces of the puzzle are there, but you don't win with freshmen. You have to win with upperclassmen and guys who can lead from the top. And that's what all 6 teams who had a potential to get in our tournament did. They were upperclassmen, and 1 through 9, they put together good at-bats. There wasn't one guy in their lineup that, oh, he's an out. If you just throw strikes, he's an out. There wasn't one of those guys in any of those lineups. You just had to work for it. So that's how you win, and that's how you build. But we've thought about next year for probably every single day for the last year. Yeah.
The MLB draft is Monday through Wednesday. Who do you think's in the mix to be drafted?
Jackson Clough will. We met with him Monday and as a coaching staff, and it just depends on what number he puts on his bonus. I think he's going to get a chance, and I think he'll get the money he wants. Justin Sterner's probably the only other guy that it's a guy that teams are showing interest in. I don't know how high. Justin's pretty realistic about how important it is to come back to college as opposed to go out and play professional baseball. And I know he wants to be here, so he's not going to sign for nothing. And I hope Brock gets a chance.
Yes,
I hope
please.
Brock gets a chance. Yeah,
Conference Player of the Year.
Yeah, and he could have been Conference Player of the Year the last 3 years. I mean, he just played at such a high level for so many years. There's not many holes in his game, if any. He's a good runner. He throws well. Great instincts on the bases. The only downside is he's 24, maybe 25 right now. But shoot, get him in there, give him a chance, and I hope that happens for him.
Mike, great stuff. Congratulations again on a fantastic season on that regular season championship, and here's to next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on as much as we have. But I mean, I think
absolutely.
It's great for the program. Appreciate you guys and all you do.
Appreciate it. It's no Jason Shepard show featuring Mike.
No, not even close. way down the list. I don't even think it's featuring Mike Littlewood. I think it's just the Jason Shepard show.
You're the rapper that comes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
thanks, guys.